Okay, I normally was going to make a video completely dedicated to women, just going completely in on how horrific women are in this time, in this age. But I decided to break men and women down in different parts. So I'm going to do a whole playlist on YouTube about women, but separate videos dedicated to different topics, and the same thing for men, dedicated to different topics. So in this video, I'm going to start the same way I'm going to start with men. This video is going to be on the devil's using the same trick since the beginning of time, with, or not the beginning of time, but the beginning of man's creation with Adam and Eve. He's doing the same thing to this day. He's been running the same playbook, basically. So what the devil's been doing is constantly using women to twist the purposes of men and women. So back in the beginning, the devil tricked Eve into eating an apple, and then Adam followed Eve. So there's people always wondered, are women the weaker vessel? Yes, they are. They are literally created from man. That's true. That is a fact. God actually told that to me. There's some other things I'm going to tell you about the Adam and Eve thing, but I'll make a separate video about that. So the devil goes for women, props them up on a pedestal in this day and age, makes them think they're something that they're not, and basically they defy everything that God created them for, go in completely the opposite direction, and then men follow. So how the devil is trying to bring down humanity and to cause us to fall is he targets women first. A real woman is someone who follows God, and that's not a knock. That is the truth. The reality is the only way you can become the best version of yourself as a woman is to follow God so you can level up. There's levels to this. And the only way you can level up in this life is if you follow God, because God is the one that's going to guide your footsteps, because there's influences everywhere, especially since the devil's been cooking since the beginning. He's always been cooking, and he's smart, and he's good at what he does. Everything you see in society, television, social media, anywhere, right? Anywhere and everywhere, the devil's promoting a certain way of living, a certain way of thinking all the time. I used to not be as confident saying this because I had a hard time believing myself, and that's because the devil was constantly after me. Now I've gained the confidence and the faith in God to be myself and be the person that I was created to be. You have to ask yourself, ladies, have you ever asked yourself, is your way of thinking, is it possible that your way of thinking and your way of life is wrong? Why are there so many divorces? Why are there so many single mothers? Why are there so many broken homes? Why? Have you ever thought that maybe when you create kids and they look just like you and the person you created, that your kid is created in the image of both of you, just like we, in the Bible, it talks about we're created in the image of God, because God is our creator. So he used the same thing to mirror us so we can reflect God. Everything points to God. So the devil is constantly coming to you guys because you guys are the weaker vessel. You're supposed to follow man, not because you're supposed to be, like, nowadays submissive is like this really negative thing for women, but you're submissive because man is supposed to naturally love you. That's why, if you think about it realistically, if men weren't loving and if men weren't like great at what they do, y'all wouldn't have the freedoms that you have. The only way you can get freedom is if we give it to you. We don't have to give you anything because we could just take it. Understand? Not saying that to be an a-hole. I'm saying it because it's true. Men love you so much, we let y'all get away with a lot. Y'all take y'all freedom and y'all ran with it. Like, no woman has any right to bash Eve because Eve may have messed up, but women ran with it when they got their opportunity. There's not a lot of strong women, there's a lot of confused women. When the transgender movement popped off the scene, I'm not saying men didn't support it. Again, I'm going to come for the men too in a separate video with the same topic. But more than times, y'all's nature is so kind and loving, y'all let things slide more times than not. That's why men are naturally the disciplinaries, because we are more logical, and I will say we're more so connected to God. Not saying women can't be, in some sense, more linked to God compared to certain men, but that would just mean that man isn't for you because you need a man to lead you. Not saying every woman needs to be led by a man, because some women aren't meant to have a man. I'm saying y'all really got to think about things logically, and if you aren't as logical and you're a little bit weaker, pray to God, and God will give you the guidance and the wisdom that you seek. God is that the devil is targeting you guys to bring down everything. Literally, he saw Eve, he went for Eve, and then Adam followed, and the same thing is happening. There's a lot of topics I'm going to talk about, so y'all really can understand this, and I hope y'all really do listen to me, and I hope the men do as well when I get to their video. Like, you have to really think about it. Look at society. Sex is being pushed more and more and more, and it starts with women. Why? Because y'all are the gatekeepers of it. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are lovely, and men want you. So he's pushing it more and more, and he's teaching y'all this is what you have to do to get love. And the only reason he's teaching that is because men are in lust bad. That's not what God teaches. And I'm not saying I haven't been in lust, I haven't made a lot of mistakes. I have. But I'm saying I'm finally waking up to the truth, and I'm trying my best to walk the walk that God wants me to walk. I'm saying if you want to be the best version of yourself, you want to be free in life, you have to follow God. If you want to be the top dog woman, you have to follow God. You know, I think I ran away from the transgender thing. Y'all supported that more than men. Y'all support almost anything that's opposed to God more so than men, because y'all think y'all understand love. Y'all don't. If y'all did, y'all wouldn't be abandoning families. Y'all wouldn't be destroying families. And that's primarily a woman thing. When it comes to freedom, y'all run to it faster than anyone because y'all want to do whatever you want to do, no matter of the consequences that you're going to have later down the road for whoever y'all hurt. And that's a fact. That's literally a fact. If y'all really look at the lives that y'all are living, y'all are causing more damage, and y'all are more selfish than you really think. You're not loving. Y'all care more about yourself, and when y'all are hurt, y'all are more vindictive than you really think you are. It takes a lot of forgiveness. To love, it takes a lot of forgiveness. Or, hold on. Am I saying that right? Hold up. To forgive, it takes a lot of love. And women are severely lacking in that department in this day and age. I'm telling you the truth. If you want to level up as a woman, if you want to know what a real woman is, you have to go to God. That's why when the transgender thing came and that guy had to make a whole documentary about what is a woman, is because women didn't care what women really were. They only wanted to support and make everyone happy no matter what, even if it was a delusion. Women will support delusion just to make people feel better. That should tell you something about how weak women really are. And that's not a shot. That's the truth. Women are technically the weaker vessel. Men are the spiritual leaders and the leaders of the family. Not saying every man is supposed to lead you. Some man is created for you unless God did not appoint a man to rule over you. Then you're supposed to be alone and you follow God however God created you to live life. And it's probably the best way to live this life. And God's going to fulfill everything you want if it's in the will that he has for you. I promise you, if you follow God, you'll have everything you want plus some. And you will be happy in it, but you have to find yourself in Christ. Your identity is in God, not in anything else. And then you can't get it from yourself because you're not that smart and you're not that wise. Look at society, look at the movies, look at the music, look at everything they're teaching. The devil has literally been cooking for years and years and generations, and he's constantly doing the same thing, and he's starting with women, and he's basically laughing at you guys, and because you guys are accepting the fact that you guys are weak, you guys are lost, and you're okay with it as long as you get a little piece of the pie. The devil's giving you guys pennies when you could have gold from God if you just were patient and you listened. But y'all are lacking in those things. Y'all aren't humble as you think you are, and you aren't as wise as you think you are either. I'm only as harsh as I have to be because at some point someone has to tell y'all the truth and hit home when y'all aren't woke. Y'all aren't as woke as y'all think you are. Society ain't got y'all's back. Why do you think we out here slaving and we barely have time with our kids? We barely have time to make families. We barely have time to connect with people. We have to work more times than we get the love. I promise you, if you listen to me, and not only listen to me, but listen to God, you'll get to where you need to get to, and this will clean up everything around here. Christianity is true. It's not some delusion. Stop reading the Bible for yourself, especially if you have a certain bias. Go to God if you don't want to hear from me, or go to someone else, and God will give you information if you're humble. He may not give it to you overnight. It might take time because you might have your own demons. You might have your own spiritual issues. You might have a whole bunch of blockages that you don't realize. I promise you, this is all true. And I wish you ladies best. Thank you guys for listening, and God bless.